We are back and ready to take on another historic venue. Hometown of Honda, very tricky track, absolute laser focus needed or else your race is going to be over before it even get a chance to get started. Welcome back everybody to another round of Rush Racing League Division 1. We're headed to Japan, Suzuka International Raceway. It is a very twisty track, the only figure 8 on the Formula 1 calendar, and it is back to business as usual. My name is Patrick Goldman, aka Reckes, and I'll be one of your hosts and commentators for tonight's action. Alongside me is the one, the only, the Governor. How are you doing tonight, SJ?
Yeah, good mate. Obviously, just coming in. Obviously, a late bloomer. So I'm ready for this. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, got 19 guys on the grid tonight, and one hopefully that will join in later on. But yeah, this should be good. Suzuka is a difficult track. I think everyone's questions and everyone's looking at Jonno. Will he get 3 on the bands? This is going to be the question tonight, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah, Ferrari is on a pretty strong form here as we jump to track, and for the first time this season, the rain has come in full effect here at this Japanese historic circuit. So that's going to make things very interesting. Suzuka in general is already a very, very twisty track. So we do have an Alpine out getting its first runs in. So the weather here could actually really play a factor in tonight's proceedings. It's already a track where you can lose traction pretty easily anyway. You got the S's, which can really throw you off, especially when you're in the dirty air. Getting in dirty air on this circuit is basically it's rough. It's not fun to get stuck, especially on this part of the track. And then you also have the Degnas, the really sharp hairpin right in the middle of Sector 2. And then you got Spoon. So a lot of very famous corners here on the Suzuka track. This is probably going to be one of the most qualifying heavy races rounds that we have this season. Second to maybe Monaco is really the only other track that's going to be this qualifying centric. It is narrow. Overtakes are difficult. You can still make overtakes, but you really just got like 2 spots on the track where you can really make a good overtake stick, but it will take absolute precision focus here tonight, SJ.
Yeah, definitely. This is a track which is known for full concentration. It's not going to be easy. We saw a wider track last week with Bahrain, and then obviously tonight, you know, this is going to test people. So as we see in these conditions as well, which is not the best either, as it does look like it is coming down a little bit, but not too much. But let's go through the order of who we've got on the grid tonight, as we've got a few surprises. And we've obviously got the returnees as well, which is really, really good to see. Mini Giorgio does have that quali ban as well, so he is out for this qualifying session. So we'll go start off with Chandler's. Chandler's is back with us in the kick tonight. We've got Leghand reserving for the Alpine. No Toasty here tonight. Jonno is in the Ferrari tonight. Well, he's always been in the Ferrari. Will he be able to go 3 for 3? That's going to be the biggest question. A big, big chance to push on to his championship lead this season. Watanabe in the Aston Martin going miles off track. They're really, really struggling, but he does love the rain. We've got Mini Giorgio retiring. Pop Top Bongo, known as FST Bailey. What a start he's had to his Rush career in the last few races as well. 2 podiums, so great start for him. Dido, the Williams TP, will definitely want to be pushing in tonight with a great driver as a reserve driver tonight, which we'll be jumping on board with later through this grid order. We've got Flabber back in Rush, but only in the Mercedes. He's made it very clear he doesn't want to talk to anyone. Just Mercedes. So, okay, well, there we go. He's made it very clear. Then we've got Aiden Raiden in the V-Carb. Hasn't had the best of starts. Will he have a better start tonight? Will it be the start of his season? We'll have to wait and see. We've got the two Red Bulls. Finally, we are seeing Rift and Globetrip on the track. It's been a while. Will they be able to push Red Bull up the ranks? It's been a tough Division 1 for them, so we'll have to wait and see how that's going to go tonight. We then got Globetrip in the second car. He is in the lovely white Bull livery there as well. So two different liveries for Red Bull. Wreck-It Ref giving it a go tonight, reserving up tonight instead of Keithy. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Moza, I'll put some breaking news here actually on this one, Rekus. The new TP of Haas. As Fat Cat has handed it over. A bit of a shame, really. It would have been good to see him to the end. So Moza is the new Haas TP. So let's see if he will be able to get a good result tonight, even though he does have that 15-second of penalty. So hopefully they'll have a good night. We then got Lockie in the Ferrari, who is the other driver of the Ferrari team, which looking very strong this season. We got Kyatonic switching Ferrari last week to the V-Carb. So we'll have to wait and see how he goes tonight. We then got JF7 in the other kick. Johnny Dodge in the Williams as well. And then also Fat Cat in the Haas. Back to you, Rez.
Yeah, so we got a pretty stacked grid here tonight. A full grid of 20 drivers taking on this historic venue, the hometown of Honda. It's good to see that we are actually seeing that white Red Bull livery, as it was originally a Suzuka livery. So always good to see the awesome liveries, and hopefully with 2026 we'll continue to see those fantastic liveries on track. But yeah, it'll be a lot of storylines coming into tonight. Jonno looking to make it a three-peat here, trying to extend his already impressive lead in the championship. He's got 21 points. Sorry, Ferrari has about 21 points. Or correction, wow, 31 points to Mercedes in the constructors. It is 70-49, so a really good start. Another storyline coming into tonight is going to be Sauber versus Haas for P3 in the Div1 constructors. They are both tied on 45 points and only a further 4 points back from Mercedes. And obviously Jonno will want to extend his championship lead coming into tonight. He has got 17 points onto this man right here that is now on your screen of Pop Top Bongo, who is just now setting a lap here at Suzuka. So, good amount of storylines to follow. Can Pop Top also make it 3 for 3 when it comes to podiums? Got 2 podiums so far, looking to make it 3. But like you said, this is a much different track than the last 2 we were at. So, you know it's going to be difficult, because we probably couldn't get much different, really, in terms of Bahrain to here. Because Bahrain is a wide track, it's more balanced, it's a favorite for testing for a lot of reasons. But then you got Suzuka, which is a very narrow and pretty tightly confined track. I know Hungary is the track that typically gets the nickname of Monaco, but with walls, but this track would probably be the next best thing in that regard. So you gotta really be on the ball here tonight, because as soon as you blink incorrectly for one moment, your race could come undone just like that. So we'll see how it goes. Right now, Mick Jammy was a provisional pole, but now Jonno with a 1:37.9 will take provisional pole. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, SJ, as Pop Top does get a invalidation for track limits. It is short quali here tonight, so one session to rule them all.
Yes, it is. Obviously, these guys are still doing the voting, and they've decided that they want short quali. So, yeah, that's only one session, and then we go straight into the race. Unfortunately, we don't have for the first time this season. It's been a bit of a tough week for the stewards this week. We don't have the overalls, so we're still waiting on one more appeal ticket to be dealt with, and then hopefully by tomorrow we will have the overalls out and the team of the week as well. So we're a little bit behind. We've got one more to go. So whoever the appeal steward is, 384, let's get that out and let's get it over and done with. So then we can get on to board the overalls. Yeah, so a little bit of a tough week this week due to obviously Division 3, which was a very interesting night to say the least. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, so far so good. I'll jump on board with a flying lap. We've got One Truth or Wreck-It Ralph. Which one do you want to jump on board with?
We'll jump on board with the One Truth, because the One Truth has had a very up and down season, to say the least.
Right. Well, here we go. We're going to jump on board with One Truth coming into 130. Some very interesting corners which we will name in this race and qualifying as well. So coming up to the Casio Triangle, you've got to really... It's about how you enter the Casio Triangle to get your lap. That's going to be the question. Right, on the intermediate, so these guys will be pushing out a few laps on the inters to set the best time. No DRS enabled in the wet, so coming into turn number 1, where we're going to see most of the action, especially into the race, but he hasn't got any grip there, and he's gone way too far over to the left-hand side. So there you go. Before it even starts, it's over and done with. Before it even starts, left the McLaren drive wreckers.
Yeah, we'll hop on board with the other one going through Spoon right now. And yeah, this is a track where it's Monaco without the walls. So it's one of those tracks that it's just like all you have to do is just breathe wrong and your quali lap can pretty much just go straight to the trash at that point. So we've seen it before. We've seen it with actually Pop Top as well. And I mean, when you're doing a qualifying session on intermediates, it just becomes so difficult because you got to obviously do your laps to try to build up that dry line. But if you go out too soon, then you're just kind of stuck. And if you go out too late, then you're not even going to have a good use for those intermediate tires. So that's just another really tricky thing. I mean, we can clearly see that dry line is forming up. And it's making itself known here. It's definitely still Inter's weather. I would definitely not advise running slicks at this time period, although it looks like the rain is slowing down quite drastically, so there may be a very, very slim chance where we do see a massive last minute dash or another rush hour with slicks. Not likely, but I think with how much the track has really dried up and how much the rain has kind of died down a bit, it's still within the realm of possibility. But with the weather like it is right now, it makes me really curious on how the race itself is gonna go, as Reiko Ralph is now making his way through Spoon. He does have a little bit of traffic up ahead, so the traffic could be a bit of a thorn in his side as he's going to go ahead and continue to push with everything that the McLaren has. And he is improving quite a bit, although granted, we'll see where he sits compared to everybody else. I think he's still off by quite a margin. I don't think he's going to jump up to the top of the times. Yeah, no, he is still pretty far off. So he's going to come across the line, and he will get to P14, but that's going to be about it, about all he can muster, at least on that lap. He still has time to get another lap or so in, so once again, it's just going to be just getting it timed correctly.
Yeah, definitely. I'm on board Broadstar at the moment. He's coming into Sector 1, getting through the S's up to the hill, coming through to the Dunlop curve very, very shortly, dropping into the 50 very nicely, really pushing that car in that Aston. Here we go, up to the Dunlop curve there, through the goes for the Guitar Airways, coming into the nice hairpin here in towards Sector 2 very, very nicely, keeping it nicely. Still got that dry line, so the guys probably going out the last part will start to probably really push in some times. We'll still look to see these times change at the top. Coming into Spoon now. Broadstar coming very, very nicely, keeping it nice and tight within the track limits as well. Plenty of ERS now, all the way onto the curb. He'll burn everything he can. Red light flashing, so he'll want to set a time. He hasn't set a time yet. 25% all the way up to gear 8, coming into 130R very, very nicely, keeping it in within the track limits, up to the Casio triangle now. You've got to enter that really perfectly. Does do it, gets onto the curb, really fighting the car out, come of some of those corners, and he's coming into the pits, not happy with the time. And I think he would have done a 136 or 137, so that would have put him pole. So interesting to see that the Broadstar has not gone across the line, and obviously is going to wait for that last 3-minute mark there, Rickers, to set a time where we still have Pop Top and Broadstar still to set times, but Broadstar has gone into the pits. Pop Top is just about to come into the Casio triangle now to set his first time. Will he go into the pits, or will he be happy with what he's done so far? A lot of ERS left there as well. He is going to burn it. 36, 37, goes up to P5 above his teammate Flubber. Back to you, Reckers.
Yes, a good lap there from him, and he is going to continue to make his way around. He's had, like you said earlier, he's had a really impressive start to his Rush Racing career so far. He's got a 100% podium rate as it sits right now. He'll want to at least try to continue that on. We'll see if he can. Suzuka is a difficult one. I mean, we just saw Chandler's go a bit wide there and invalidate his lap. So there's pretty much no room for error here at the Suzuka track, and that's why it's such a challenge. And it's why it's kind of a popular pick for a lot of different real-life racing series, as well as we get ready for the, what I like to call the rush hour, as it is down to about the last 2.5 minutes. So we'll see a lot of activity coming out of the pits here. So, but yeah, I mean, it's using so many different championships. You got motorcycle endurance racing that does the Suzuka 8 hours at this particular track. Obviously, Formula 1 comes here. Super Formula as well. Super GT. There's just so many different racing series, both domestic and international, that use this Suzuka track because it is such a challenge. Because you got to qualify well. And then also overtaking opportunities, especially on these cars, are so few and far between that it's practically almost impossible sometimes. And Watanabe, a 136 to go ahead and jump to provisional pole position, as now everybody with the, well, actually now everybody is either on a lap or on an out lap to get ready for a lap. So it is down to the final minute and a half. So depending on where you are on track, you'll get about 1 to maybe 2 laps in at the absolute most. So you pretty much, you either get this lap or you'll finish this lap and start another. And then it is going to be qualifying done and dusty here. We see JDI just drifting a bit, going on a bit of a Suzuka drift here in his kick Sauber as he's making his way to the line. He's got cars up ahead trying to warm up the tires. He is improving though by almost 0.7 of a second as he makes his way through, getting a bit onto the wet line as he just enters the Casio triangle, and now he's gonna burn it through the left hand sweeper, coming across the line. He will jump over to P5, 0.8 ahead. Now who else is gonna make the improvement? Lots of drivers out on laps at the moment, and there is just a massive, practically a Congo line of drivers who are just now about to begin their laps. So many choices for who we can jump on board with. Let's go on board with the Williams TP, because we did see a kind of a request earlier in chat for it, and Dito's now going to go ahead and begin his lap, the Williams TP. Williams having a much better start to the season than they did last time around in the overalls. Obviously, we're still waiting for the overalls, but so far in Div 1, Williams is in a pretty decent spot. Last time they were not looking too great in the first parts of the season as Dito makes his way through the S's. Williams now will try to fight. They're actually also in a tight battle with Aston Martin in this division, so the timer has ran out, and now lots of drivers are trying to finish up their qualifying laps. Pop Top currently on the top of the timetables here with a 1:36.7. That is going to be your time to beat. Rayco Ralph is done. Flubber done. The other, One Truth, both McLarens are done now. We'll see who else it is going to be. We do have Broadsta making his way through for his first and only lap. That'll be recorded of the session. Fat Cat, the former Haas TP. Haas makes it a 1-2. Jonno jumps to the top of the times. He's looking for the 3P. Broadsta brings it up to third. And times are changing rapidly here. Dito's up by about a second on this lap, so we'll see where the Williams team principal is going to go. Across the line, it's good enough for P11. What about Pop Top? Is Pop Top going to do work here? There's a Sauber off in the spoon, so that's going to be his run done and dusted. And yeah, actually, Pop Top's run is done as well, so Jeremy's done, JDI's done. I think that's pretty much qualifying done and dusted here, SJ. Jonno, pole position once again.
Yeah, it is. It's all done, which is very interesting. Interesting qualifying there. We obviously saw a few, obviously Pop Top, a few that didn't improve where they probably were at. And then we've got a great start there for the two houses and 2 and 4. And Jonno taking pole position. So Jonno really pushing his quality, which he's really said most of the times for last season and coming into this season that he struggled for his quality, but it doesn't look like he has. There's not much between him and Fat Cat, though. Look at that. 0.063 is the deficit between the two of them. So Jonno taking pole position for the Suzuka Grand Prix. Fat Cat taking P2. Broadstar not setting a time, getting into P3. So Aston Martin in a really good position as well. P3 and P7. Then you got Mozza in P4. Aiden's Raiden in P5. Pop Top in P6. Wonton, then Challenge, Jamie Dodge, F7, Rift, Clio, Dido, Flubber, One Truth, Global Drip, Legam, Rega Ralph, Lockie, and also Mini Giorgio with that quali ban. We are about to get underway here for Suzuka, and it's going to be turn 1, and then it's going to be very interesting what the weather's going to do. So we've seen rain. What are we going to see in the race? Dry. There we go.
It's dry, but those clouds do look menacing, so we might see rain partway through. So that's going to be an interesting one in terms of the strategy, because we haven't had rain at any Grand Prix so far this season. So this would be the first one with rain. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on the weather and see if we do get rain at some point this race, or maybe not. Because you know how it goes when you get rain mid-race. It can throw your whole strategy through a loop. And if you get that strategy wrong, if you come onto the enters too early or too late, then your race can just kind of get flipped up on its head.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here. But yeah, if it does, the conditions do change. It's going to spice things up going into this race as well, which is going to be tough. This is not going to be easy. So it's all about follow, and then make the moves when you can see them. So that's going to be the question, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens as well. We've got an onboard as well for lap 1. So we'll probably jump on board with that on the second lap. We'll have to wait and see who that's going to be. But do you want me to take it away, Rekus?
Well, we're about to get going either way, and it is going to be lights out, and away we go here in Suzuka, Japan. Already Fat Cat going on the attack. Jonno having to play defense as the Haas tries to get around. These two have done battle so many times over the seasons. Jonno gets the lead and stays in the lead. Fat Cat putting up an impressive challenge, but now you're going through the S's where dirty air is a nightmare to deal with. Broadsta under pressure from the new Haas TP Amaza. Those two are going to go ahead and square off here in Japan. And we will see how this one goes. The team that will be soon powered by Honda on Honda's home turf, taking on a team that has massive backing from Toyota, so a bit of a rivalry there. between Haas and Aston Martin coming into 2026, and we're seeing a little bit of that rivalry play out here on track in Rush as these guys are going to continue to do battle. There was a yellow flag. Globdrip has dropped way down to the back. He's got damage on the front wing of the Red Bull, the left side of that wing being pretty heavily damaged. So, very unfortunate stuff. And then we do have a onboard request for Fat Cat, so we'll take it for lap number 2. And over to you, SJ.
Yeah, no, a really good start there for most of the guys. Jonno leading the way. Fat Cat in that P2 with broad start, but with his teammate right behind in P4. But Jonno doing a fantastic job so far. A little bit of a situation at the back there as Globdrip has decided to continue out on them sauce with that damage. So yeah, an interesting start. He'll want to try and see if he can try and hold on to it. If not, get onto a set of different tyres and go all the way to the end if you can. We'll have to wait and see as we see Lockie coming into the pits as well. Lockie's out already on lap 1. Wow. Oh, Fat Cat getting onto the curbs there, and Lockie gone already. So I do not know what's happened there. We're not even on lap 2, and we've lost the Ferrari already, which is a bit disappointing. So unless there was some serious damage to the car, it would have been good to see him continue. But this is racing, and unfortunately the guys get a little bit aggy and retire very easily, which is not what you want to see. But we're going to continue here. We're on board with Fat Cat in that P2, 1.4 seconds back here. I don't know if he's struggling a little bit here to Jonno, but Jonno is in control of this race as it stands. Rekas coming up to 130R, 1.5 still out of the DRS, and he's going to come under extreme pressure from Broadstar. Coming into Casio Triangle, keeping it nice and clean so far. Getting a little bit closer there, as you can see, dropping off the fuel, getting on to none and crossing the line on lap number 3. Back to you, Rekas.
Indeed, we'll stay on board with Fat Cat for a little bit because as we see, it is going to be Toyota and Honda duking it out on Honda's home turf as the Aston Martin does try to send it around. Broadster now trying to make the move, trying to get around Fat Cat, but Fat Cat trying to make his car as fat as possible, as his name says, so you can't really get her past, can't get around him, and now you're pretty much in the dirty air nightmare that is the S's here at Suzuka. So trying to follow through those curves is a bit of a challenge, especially with its current generation of F1 machinery. So we will see if the 2026 regs will make things a bit easier, but for now you just got to work with what you got. And right now Fat Cat has actually closed up that gap pretty nicely to Jonno. It was about 1.5 seconds earlier, and now it is down to just about 1.2 to 1.3 around that ballpark. So the gap is going to continue to kind of ebb and flow here. But with Lockie's early retirement, it's obviously unfortunate. We do want every driver to finish the race. But this does sound pretty good for Mercedes, which has popped up currently in P5, and then his teammate is down in P13. But it would still be a double point score for Mercedes, which, granted, still very early on in the season, but every point counts here as we are beginning lap 4 out of 27. Pop Top Bongo now trying to chase down the new Haas team principal of Mazda. He is going to go in and try, but now you're in the S's. It's so difficult to really try to catch anyone in the S's. Now, we've seen some instances where you can make an overtake in the S's, but trying to close the gap in this part of the track, in almost any car really, is just difficult stuff here. Going through the Degnas for Pop Top. He's going to try to pop himself into a spot to try to keep up that podium streak he's on.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing a little bit of drama here as Chalmers is dropping down the order. He's had a bit of a spin, so I don't know what's happened there. He's down into P17, so Kick have had a fantastic week last week, and not the greatest stats of one of their drivers down into P17. JF7 into P7 at the moment. We are seeing some of these guys getting a little bit oopsie-daisy on some of these curbs there. We've seen Fat Cat do that a few times now. and he's losing time to Jonno, so hopefully he makes no more mistakes later on, because Broadstar is right there ready to pounce and make a move. Moz is there as well, but he has got that 15 to serve, so he'll want to try and push as much as he can to try and score some points for Haas and on his debut as the TP tonight. Pop Top having a fantastic season. Remember, he has been on the podium in 2 races in a row. Will this be a third? He's in P5 at the moment in a nice lovely little DRS train between Mozza and Broadstar and Fat Cat, so still opportunity there. We're going a little bit further down. We've got Jamie Dodge. What a driver tonight for the Williams, as Andre is not here tonight. He's reserving up. He is in P8 and his TP is in P10 with Kyotonic behind in P11, and then we've got Watanabe in the middle of P9. He loved it that it was raining early on in quali. Now it's dry, things are going to change. We do see some blue skies, so it does look like it is going to hold out, but we will have to wait and see. A little bit further down, we've then got Kyotonic and Flubber going at it. Flubber gets very close to Kyotonic coming into the Dunlop curve. Does he make the move coming into the hairpin? We'll have to wait and see. That is the closest battle that we've got going on as well. There's a lot going on. As he locks the brakes, Legham tries to come around the outside, doesn't get the move done, and Flubber's still going to jump on board. I'm going to stay on board with Flubber for a POV here to see if he can get the job done on Kyo, going into Spoon, into 130 hours. Kyo is making a lot of mistakes, going very wide there, dropping the battery. I'm just trying to work out if he's got damage to that car. It doesn't look like it. It just looks like he's losing it all over the left and the right hand side there. We've got Pop Top and Aiden. They're going at it as well. Does Flubber make a move into the Casio triangle? No, we'll stay on board because he might go for a move with the DRS coming up very shortly. Here we go. Gets onto the acceleration all the way. Now onto the DRS. You should make this move easy. Does it? Moves over to the right. Does he make the move? Yes, he does. Are they going to fight it going into turn 1? And Flumper gets the move into P11. Good job there. Back up on board with Pop Top. Pop Top into P4. And Aiden's Raiden now down at P6. And Mozza down at P5. So some of these guys making moves and some of them losing moves. Fat Cat still 1.3. We're on lap 6 out of 27. Back to you, Wreckers. As Fat Cat just gets a penalty. He's just thrown his opportunity of a top 3. Back to you.
Yeah, Jonno right now is looking very likely to make it a 3P here, seeing a level of dominance that we have not seen in Rush for quite some time, before I even got here. So we're seeing some fantastic battling. We actually got a battle here between, this is about to be a 3-way fight here between JDI, Aiden, and McJammy. All drivers were thinking about going 3 wide here, and we potentially had a really strong fight on our hands here. We still might, as McJammy now is pretty much right in the diffuser of Aiden now, trying to make a move without DRS, and he gets one into 130R. Potential switchback coming. He has to chop across the front of Aiden to put a halt to his advance here, as McJammy is now up into P7, looking for P6. Gonna try to chase down JDI here, looking to get another move on the bounce. So Jammy is having a mighty fine drive here tonight in that Gulf Williams. Absolutely just a heyday out there. He's making quite a few moves. He is up 3 positions from where he started, tied for one of the biggest movers aside from Legham, who is currently up 4 positions at the moment. So a very solid race here from Williams. They're going to definitely enjoy the results of that. Checking in with the Williams TP, as he is currently in a battle of his own, chasing down Watanabe. One TP chasing down another, as Dito is going to try to bide his time, wait for an opportunity to get a move done here. Jumping down to Red Bull here in the P15. We got Rift and One Truth going ahead and staying very closely knit to each other, waiting for the McLaren to make a mistake to try to capitalize right on the edges of the points. As now we still have let's see if he can get it done here. Coming into 130R, still a closely knit battle between these two. And you're coming up to the DRS zone. He's going to try to send it deep into the Casio triangle. He went a bit too deep there. That one did not work out as intended. And he just got overzealous going into the Casio triangle. He's looking to potentially lose a position, as we do have some drivers making a pit stop. One Truth and Aiden is Raiden coming into the pits on lap 8. They're gonna, let's see, it's kind of early actually to see these guys pit in, although One Truth did have some damage on the front wing, so getting that replaced, and I think that's maybe what Aiden has done as well. You always want to try for the one stop, but I know on Suzuka that's typically easier said than done.
Oh yeah, obviously 7 laps is quite early. We can see Jamie Dodge on those hards at the moment. He's on 7 already, and he'll go a longer distance as well. And he's in P5, right behind Pop Top as well, which will try and get the move done into 130R as well, or even before that. We'll have to wait and see. With Jamie Dodge is looking very, very quick so far. We are seeing it fluctuate at the top there between Jonno and Fat Cat. It's down to like a 1.3, then it drops down to under DRS as well. So Fat Cat, he's really going to have to make a move here and try and get the move done on Jonno. But I'm just going to stay on board with Jamie Dodge, as he is going to make the move with the DRS, and he's going to make light work of Pop Top as Pop Top moves over to the left trying to defend it. But looking behind, he's also got Mozza and JF7 encroaching on that as well. So those hards, he'll be able to push away now in free air. So that will be good news for Jamie Dodge. But Broadstar still hasn't been able to get past Fat Cat. As you can see, Fat Cat just struggling a little bit there, coming out through the S's up onto the hill. So interesting to see as we see Jonno then extend it to 1.5 again. So he has under fuel though. So that will be a little bit of a question mark. We'll have to wait and see. Lap 9 out of 27, a little bit further down. We've got Dido and Wonton going at it as well, as Dido gets very close to Wonton. Flubber right behind Dido. Then we've got Rift in P11, having a good race. Earlier on was down the back and now up into P11. Globtrip has decided to go onto the hards. He's 6 seconds back, but anything can happen. He's not had the best of starts. Back up to the front. We've got Broadstar still in the DRS of Fat Cat. Jamie Dodge 3 seconds behind him. Pop Top losing that advantage to Jamie Dodge now. So those mediums look like they may have starting to go on their way out. Mozza staying within that DRS. JO7 getting very close to him now. A little bit further, we've got Dido, Flubber and Wonton. There's a 3-way battle there. So there's battles going on all over the place. There is a bit of a gap though between Rift and Flubber. 8.1 seconds. Here we go. Dido is about to make a move on Wonton. Let's see if he gets the move done. We may see some moves further up. Let's have a look. 26% on his battery. I shouldn't be saying that because we shouldn't be going out. Is he going to go in for the move? Oh no, he doesn't get the move done. Not enough track. And that's going to be the question always, Wreckers, trying to get the moves done down that main straight with the DRS. Back to you.
Yeah, it's always really difficult to get a move done on this track anywhere, really. I mean, that DRS zone is one of really 2 spots where you have a good, consistent opportunity, and Fat Cat's out of the race. And that is a safety car. Fat Cat's into the wall, off of the Degnas, lost in the Degna 1, and that is his race done and dusted. Just lost it there off of the Degnas. Saw the aftermath. His car is missing a tire in the barrier, and now this opens up the pit strategy 100% for these guys.
Because you're the host. Don't leave the session. Yeah, I obviously, sorry to interrupt, I did see that coming. I did see he was really, really struggling. You could see in some areas. I don't know if he nailed the setup tonight. Yeah, I don't know about you. Could you see it in some areas? He was onto the curbs quite a lot. So interesting to see him out.
Yeah, that's got pretty big implications for the championship, but now everyone is just going to fire on into the pits. You might as well. It's safety cars, so all the medium runners are going to come into the pits, and actually probably even, McJamie is also probably going to come in as well, so we have a lot of drivers making their way into the pits. Championship leader now needs a good stop here, and that's exactly what he gets. He's going to jump onto the hard tires for now. popped up. Yeah, pretty much everybody who hasn't pitted already is gonna definitely take advantage of this basically free pit stops because you're not really gonna gain or lose any positions here at this stage if you make a pit stop because it is a safety car. You gain about 10 seconds on a safety car pit stop versus a regular in-race pit stop, so good stuff to see here. Unfortunate that we've had 2 retirements so far. We have lost Fat Cat and we have lost Locky in the early stages of the race here. Actually, we're getting close to about halfway through this one, so not exactly early anymore. Jonno leads from Broadstone to McJeremy, who's had a heck of a drive here tonight, all the way up in P3 now. And he's pretty much he's on medium tires, so he'll be on the freshest tires out of everybody aside from Chandler's, but Chandler's all the way back down into P17. Bit of a rough race there for the Kick Sauber, as we do see the Williams now is already getting kind of racy, already trying to kind of get side by side with Broadsta here. So still waiting for this whole group to bunch up, but I think we have a very, very spicy safety car restart on our hands here in the next coming laps, SJ.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's actually come at the right time. I think that is when you really want to start making the pit stop between like 10 and lap 11. And we've seen that Jonno's going to do it all again. And Broadstar was very, very quick on the back of Fat Cat as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Broadstar can get the job on Jonno in this race. But Jonno will be happy with, I'm not sorry to say, that Fat Cat's out. So he can try and extend his lead as well because he is the closest one to him. But currently, we all have our tracks, and it does not look like that's Fat Cat's tonight. So this is going to bring everyone back into it. It's going to bring Globdrip back into it. It's going to bring Chandler's, Kaio, everyone, all the guys that struggled or had a little bit of damage, are all going to have another opportunity again. The question here, though, I'm looking at something. The mediums. 16 laps on those mediums to the end. Whew, that's a big ask. That is a big ask. Take away 2 laps of the safety car, you're taking it to 15. Just big ask of 15 laps on the mediums here.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a big task, especially because, I mean, you're going to be burning through those tires pretty quickly anyway, because tire degradation on this track is pretty high up there. You got the S's, which will take a lot out of your tires. Those will get them pretty fired up. And then you have some pretty hefty sweepers like the final corner and 130R. You're going to burn a good amount of tire through those corners. Spoon, not so much. The hairpin, not so much. But also the biggest proponent is McJeremy's been quick tonight, so he's probably going to be chasing out Broadster quite a bit. And dirty air in those S's where you're already kind of burning up your tires as is. It's going to put even a stronger emphasis on trying to keep your tires cool. And you're going to damage your tires quite heftily here as Chandler's gets a 10-second penalty. Globdrip getting a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So that is a bit of an interesting one right towards the back. Not sure what happened there, to be perfectly honest with you. But we do know safety car is still going around here waiting for those 3 to catch back up. So we should be racing pretty much right at the halfway point of lap 14, I would say. We'll probably come in at the end of 13, and then we get racing on lap 14.
Yeah, it's just happened at the mediums there, but I don't understand why that 10-second there, that would be looked at. Kai just dropped down dramatically. I wonder what's happened. Might have been some lag spike there. So just make sure if you are the drivers or, well, obviously Chandler's knows, but Globdrip, make sure that he's going to go in and serve it when he didn't need to serve it. So is he going to go back onto the hards now? Let's have a look. This is going to be an interesting strat here. As he's going back into the pits, he's going to serve the 10 when he probably could have got it removed. So let's have a look. He's coming into the pits, serving the 10, Chandler's continues because he probably knows he can get the tin removed. What's Globtrip going to do? Does he go on to a set of, no, fresh mediums? This is an interesting strat here from Red Bull. This is going to be interesting. Can Globtrip get through the pack on those tyres? It's still a tall ask, isn't it, on those mediums? They're going to be quick, don't get me wrong, but it's about trying to save those tyres to the end of this race, Rickers.
Exactly that. But here's the thing, though, about that 10-second stop is that he could serve it really and just kind of. I mean, granted, yeah, he could have gotten it removed, but he can honestly serve it cheaper here because we talked about those cheaper pit stops. And now he's got a perfect chance to kind of catch up right to the back of the pack without that penalty kind of looming over his head. So maybe he knows he actually might have not been able to get it removed. Maybe he did actually somehow make a mistake and opted just to kind of rectify it while he's under the safety car, because he will be allowed to catch back up to the back of the field here, back to the other 17 cars on track. So this might have been a bit of a strategy masterclass here from Globdrip. We'll just kind of have to see. I'm not too sure, because I mean it's always a bunch of if statements. Safety car is coming in this lap. Perfect time to catch back up for Globdrip, but now Jonno will lead the field here. The safety car is going to pull in. He's going to try to back up the field, give himself some good space, and try to catch somebody napping. So it's interesting because you don't really have a long run down into turn one. So here we go. Now he's going to go in and punch it. Not a lot of chances to catch somebody napping here. As we are back racing here in Japan. Brodsta already on the attack, trying to put the Aston Martin into the win column, trying to end the streak that Jonno has. I think we saw somebody going a bit wide there coming through turn one. And we are through the first couple of corners successfully and cleanly. So here we go. And actually Pop Top getting a move done on the Moza now in the S's. That's something you don't see every day, but it is a bold move from Pop Top, who wants to continue his streak. He's got a podium streak going on that he wants to continue with. But look at this. Jonno already a second ahead. He's already out of DRS range before we even reactivated DRS.
Yeah, no, good, great start there for Jonno Flubber, going side by side with the Williams of Dido. Gets the move done. Dido up into P8, Flubber down into P9. A little bit further up, we're going to keep on board with Jamie Dodge, see if he can keep to the back of Broadstar. Jonno is trying to run away with this. Broadstar definitely wants to get a good result here from after last week. A bit of redemption. We're going a little bit further down. We've got Mini Giorgio up into P11. Didn't have the best of starts last week in Bahrain. He's having a good night so far. One Truth, a little bit of a wobble there, so hopefully he's not going to aquaplane. He can't do that in the dry, I don't think. But Ada's Raiden comes through, gets the move done, and into P13 through the Casio Triangle. Fantastic move. Chandler's has made a mistake there. Wreck-It Ralph. Now we've got Globdrip coming into it. He's got past Kaio. One Truth is now being overtaken, or is he getting the move done? We're seeing moves happening left, right, and centre. Oh no! Wonton's lost it, and he's reversed, and he's in the middle of the track. Absolute scenes here at Japan, and everyone's let's go. Megan has gone straight into him. Oh, his absolute scenes. Watanabe is out of this race, and that brings on another safety car. Does Globdrip have damage to that car? It looks like he does. Oh no, so unfortunate there what's happened. And yeah, that will be very unfortunate. So 2 drivers out of this race, Watanabe and Legham. That's 2 Aston Martins, Rickers, in 2 weeks. So Broadstar last week, Watanabe this week. Not the best of starts there for Aston Martin. Maybe looked at. I did miss it, unfortunately. I just caught the last of it. But we are on a safety car again on lap 15. And, well, we are going to see a mixture of strategies now because the mediums will go to the end now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I caught kind of the tail end of it. I think it was Legham actually just clobbering into Watanabe there. So I caught that one. I caught where Watanabe got his wheel taken off. Globdrip did get damage from that as well. So unfortunately, I mean, it's always going to be a chaotic restart when you do a safety car restart here in Suzuka. That's one of the dangers of this circuit is that it just gets very, very difficult to
Well, yes
try
and
to
no. You look at your track. You look at your track map. You know that there's a car spinning. You're coming around the corner. You know, you just ease off. Yeah, it's a 101. You know, 101 thing in F1 in racing. You don't go flat out in a safety car because that's what's going to happen. You are going to damage your car. If you're cautious, you know, then you could end up making 5 or 6 places just to that one incident. You know, and now it's going to be, you know, we're going to see a lot of changes happening. I think it's just more cautious under these flags. You know, if you know there's a yellow flag, you know someone spun, it shows. You know, I think it just needs to be a bit more cautious on a track like this. You can't go flat out around a corner when you know that there's an incident in front.
Sometimes you really just don't have the time to react, though, because, I mean, I work at a go-kart track, and we actually sometimes even say during the briefings there that we know sometimes you can't react in time if somebody spins straight in front of you, and we saw how close
that's fair enough.
everybody...
But if it's further back, then you've got time. You know, if it's right in front of you, like one position, fair enough, no problem. You don't have time to react. But if it's further down the pecking order in the grid, then the last car or P18, something should have time to react and, you know, be able to, you know, move out the way of it. That's what I'm getting at.
I mean, but when you're so focused on the car, like ahead of you, I can really see both sides of it. Really, I can see.
He's disagreeing with me. He's disagreeing. We're gonna have an argument on stream records for the first time.
I'm presenting it towards the viewers. I mean, both points are very valid. Obviously, you always want to be cautious. You want to give yourself enough space, especially like you said, on a track like this. It's narrow. I mean, there's other tracks you could think about that too. Jeddah is very narrow. Monaco is very narrow. Baku is very narrow. There's a lot of tracks where, yeah, you got to keep that up. But it's very easy to also be over eager, and I think it's just kind of Wonton really just being, or everybody around Wonton just kind of being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And timing is so important in any form of racing, really. Just being in the right place at the wrong time, and unfortunately, Watanabe just kind of put himself in a bad spot at the worst time, and there's other drivers who also just kind of just misjudged it. So regardless of how you view it, it is an unfortunate incident. We are down to 16 drivers with about 10 laps to go. The question is, though, the real question is, can Jonno run away with it again?
Oh yeah, he's been pretty confident in this race. We're just going to look at some position changes so far. I think he'll be a little bit frustrated. There's 2 safety cars at Suzuka. Unfortunately, the race is more entertaining than the real Formula One. This track can be very, very boring. But here we go. Let's look at some position changes there. So Jonno stays where he is at the moment. Broadstar has gained 1. Jamie Dodge has gained 6. Pop Top Bongo 1 position away from another podium. What a season he's having in that Mercedes at the moment. He's up to JF7, a really, really good start as well. He has just found some fantastic form in that kick at the moment. Don't know where it's coming from, but he's doing a fantastic job so far. He's moved up 5. Dino moving up 7 as well. So Williams having a fantastic night so far. Flubber moving up 7 as well. Great start on his debut back. Rift up into P8. He's moved up 3. Giorgio 11. So he's having a fantastic night in the Alpine. Aiden's Raiden down to P10. He got 5 positions, but he has pitted a few times. And I think he did get involved in an incident early on. Raf, what a night he's having. Even though he's reserving up tonight, he's in the points in P11, making up 7 spots. Kyatonic making up 12 with that 10-second time penalty, I think it is. No, 3 seconds, sorry, my apologies. Mazda down 9 spots, down to 13th. He will not be happy because he still has that 15 to serve. One Truth gaining 1 spot. Globdrip gaining 1 spot in the last point, and Chandler's losing 8 as well. So we've got 1 more car and everyone will score points. And yeah, this is Jonno's to lose, but anything can happen. Safety cars do bring out safety cars. 16 cars out on track. Rekas, I'll let you take it away.
Alright, so here we go. It's about to be racing here. We are going to go to get back started on lap number 18 And it is going to be 10 to go here on the Japanese Grand Prix. As now Bronson is going to continue on, and they're going to go ahead and race it out here. See if Jonno, he's already starting to build a very good gap here to Bronson Pond. Already almost a second, just about halfway through the S's. So Jonno is having a mighty fine time here in Suzuka. Bronson now trying with every fiber of his being to get into the top. He wants to go into the top position, but he's already out of DRS range just before we've even hit Sector 3. So that is insane work there from Jonno. And I saw a comment in the chat earlier saying, nerf Jonno. I think the other teams are going to agree with that sentiment there, as he's already broken away here. Mick Jammy trying to go ahead and continue his monstrous run through the order. He wants to make it 7 positions and get into P2. Pop Top looking to continue his podium streak as well, but a driver we haven't really talked about at all today. We got to talk about Jorgo, because Jorgo is currently up 8 positions here on the night.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job from last week. He's in the nice little DRS chain here as well. He needs to try and stay with it, just dropping out there. I don't know if he's got it. It doesn't. You know, I think he's just got it this time, but he's got to be careful because he's going to come under extreme pressure from Rift and the Red Bull in P9 as well. If you can stay with him, it's some really good points for Alpine, as they did a fantastic job in Division 3 as well. But there's still a long way to go in this race. I know we're coming up to around about 8 laps, but anything can happen here. We're seeing Jonno basically check out now. It looks like he's got this in the bag, but Jamie Dodge is just trying to get the move done. He's on those 8-lap mediums as well, so keep an eye out on the medium tyres of One Truth and Glob Drip. As Glob Drip's out, Glob Drip has gone.
Another one.
He has lost it. Oh, we've got another one, and that's another retirement, and he's lost it. Looks like it's in the S's in Sector 1, and that's another safety car. So now, do we see 15 cars all on mediums or soft compound tyres?
I think Holy Calm's Curse from XD Lamb just kind of sums that one up. Just absolute shenanigans, unfortunately. But yeah, Suzuka, like we said, it is a tough track. You need absolute focus. This track suffers no fools, takes no prisoners, whatever phrase you want to throw in there. It really just does not play nice. So the curious thing is that will we see some people jump into the pits for a set of soft tires? Because they will have them available, although I think it's way too early for softs. If there's about 5 to go, then maybe, but softs I don't think. Oh, I think he faked it. Oh, he was trying to see if Bronson would take the bait. But that bait, unfortunately, will not be taken. Bronson did not take the bait. Sneaky stuff there from Jonno. You love to see it, though. You love to see a little bit of tomfoolery happening in a race. Love a little bit of. Oh, there's a word for it that I just can't quite think of.
Foolery.
But foolery. There we go.
I think that's a word. I think it might be a word. Look it up in the dictionary. You might have to look it up in your dictionaries, because remember, English dictionaries and American dictionaries, they're two completely different things.
You
guys make up a lot of words. You make up a lot of words.
We just improve on what you guys have given us.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we did come up with a better sport name. I mean, soccer just sounds like a much more accurate sport name than football. I'm kidding.
No, it doesn't.
I'm kidding.
We're gonna fall out.
I am not going to start that argument. I have started enough of these soccer versus football arguments in my time.
No, not tonight. Not tonight. Not with me. Not with football. Not soccer. God, imagine me saying soccer. English person saying soccer. Let's go and watch some soccer. No, I can't do it. It's football all the way. Anyway, while me and Rekius have another debate and fall out, we got Jonno leading the way, decides to dummy run it and not go into the pits. Puts that on those hard compound tyres as well. Jamie Dodge on those 7 laps of racing to go for 3 safety cars tonight in Suzuka. It's not been bad racing, it's just been a few incidents. You know, we did see one time spin earlier on. We just seen Globodrip lose it in the S's. That's another week of Red Bull not scoring any points in Division 1. It seems to be cursed for them at the moment in Division 1. And also 2 weeks in a row for Aston Martin losing a Division 1 driver. Legham out in the Alpine on his first time reserving up as well, so that's really unfortunate. Biggest news was earlier on, Fat Cat losing it earlier on. He was struggling through some of the corners and hitting the curbs quite a lot. Lockie, we didn't even get to lap 2 before he decided to call it. We still don't know what was wrong, unless there was anything wrong internally with the car. We do have a few changes though. Kyotonic Chandler's deciding to go for the soft compound tyres. 7 laps to go. They are risking it. They've got nothing to lose. Everyone does score points. So, Mozza, if you are listening to me, please do not retire. You will score points and you will serve that penalty. The most you can finish is 15th, which is still a point. So, do not retire. Everyone else, everyone is staying out on these hard compound tyres. Is this a risk, or do you think, well, these guys should maybe go for the opportunity and get onto them softs?
Oh, it's risky business. I mean, because here's the thing, right? We've seen that overtaking is possible, but it's not really that easy around this circuit. So, I mean, you kind of run the risk of just being stuck and unable to really progress. And Jonno's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place here, because some other drivers behind him might be able to pit in and potentially jump into that soft tire compound to try to finish out this race. But those softs are going to get fired up really quickly. They're going to overheat really quickly. And you might just not see the return on investment. It's going to be... It's tricky stuff. Like, the engineers, they got their work cut out for them here tonight. With 3 safety cars. I think that's the most safety car. I think we've seen more safety cars in this race here than in the other 2 Div1 races combined. So, Jonno is in a bit of an interesting spot. Really, everybody who stayed out is on an interesting spot right now. McJeremy is going to have a bit of a fight. Safety car's in this lap, so no one's going to try to second guess that anymore. We'll see if Jonno can make it 3 for 3 on rocket restarts here. He is going to go ahead and get those afterburners charged up, ready to go, making sure his tires are at the optimal heat. And he is going to go ahead and get ready. He's really backing this entire field up. Going through the Casio triangle. And he's sending it away. Going down into turn 1. We'll see now who can make moves. There's already a bit of just racing action here. It's going to be just about 4 wide. Trying to get through turn number 1. And we'll see who can go ahead and make the most of it. Flubber and Rift scrapping it out tooth and nail, trying to fight here. And Flubber is going to hold on to that position for now. And Dito is going to try to catch up to JDI. Flubber pretty much right on the Williams gearbox now, trying anything he can to make a move happen. Pop Top now going to also try to look for any kind of potential gap. He knows that McJammy's tires aren't in the best of states right now, and he is going to be on the better tire as this race gets closer and closer to the end of this one. Rego Ralph now dropping a bit back down through the field. The soft runners already making a few moves here and there, as we are on lap 22 out of 27 with just about 5 more laps to go in the Grand Prix. As McJeremy now is going to try to, he wants to stay crucially within that DRS range to the Aston Martin just up the road ahead, because otherwise he is going to be easy pickings here for Pop Top, looking for a 3rd podium in a row.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough. He's going to be tough ass for Pop Top to try and get Jamie Dodge. Jamie Dodge has shown so much pace, but those tyres, 12 lap mediums, you know, One Truth has probably nailed the strategy there. He's on 7 lap mediums, you know, Jamie Dodge, this is when we start to come into the pits and go on to and come off those mediums. So the question is he going to be able to hold on to it? It's going to be a tough ask. I know that Jamie Dodge has been very good tonight. Broadstar trying to hold on to the back of Jonno. He's been doing it most of this race. Can he have one little last ditch? Can Jonno make a mistake? The 3 second, anything, we'll have to wait and see here. We've got moves going on here. And we've got a little bit of drama at the back as Charles is round down there in P15 on the softs. One Truth has dropped down as well. Has there been a bit of an incident between him and Chandler's? It looks like there has. He's lost the front left plate. Oh, so unfortunate. Raf up into P14, Kyo into P12, Mozza into P11, Giorgio into P10. Giorgio may be under investigation for overtaking before the start line, which will be very interesting and will be a penalty coming straight at him if that is the case. Remember, you cannot overtake until you cross the line. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Dido doing a great job, but Flubber all over the back of him. One Truth getting a penalty now as well. The best he can do is get down to about P14, just behind his teammate. So we'll have to wait and see. A little bit further up though, Broadstar has pulled in that gap. Rekas 7.5 tenths, but he's got Jammy Dodge all over the back of him. Can he make that move going into turn one? No, he can't. Broadstar is really trying to push on the pressure on Jonno. We're still seeing moves left, right, and centre here as Giorgio and Mozza are going at it. This softs versus hards. The softs are outlasting the hards now. One Truth is in. He'll probably try and get the fastest lap and take that extra point or extra 2 points. Jonno still in the lead and has now pulled that gap out into a second. It was looking very, very juicy there when Broadstar was getting closer, but he's got a fantastic driver behind him, giving him pressure on every single corner, every single straight, every single turn. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. 24 laps out of 27. Can Jonno keep it? Can Broadstar hold on to P2? Or can Jammy Dodge spoil the party? Back to you.
We can't forget about Pop Top either, because Pop Top is looking. He's going to pretty much just be there waiting, because he's no fireworks are going to happen between McJammy and Broadstar. He knows for a certified fact that it is going to be just potential calamity between these two if something goes even slightly awry. But McJammy, he paid for the entire medium. He's going to use the entire medium, going to make a dive into the Casio triangle. And that is a beautiful send into the penultimate corner of the circuit. And he got that move done and made it look easy. He also think he got the DRS detection point, so he's going to have DRS down the straight as well. So that's going to give him an additional bit of a buffer. As now Kyotonic and Jorgo are going to go ahead and do some scrapping of their own here for position as these guys continue to race it out. But with about 3 laps to go, this is going to be an intense one for these guys here. As Broadstar now, he's starting to fall way back off of McJammy here, so we might actually see Pop Top get this 3rd podium in a row to continue his impressive start to his Rush racing career. We're gonna have to see. Yeah, Broadstar's already dropped out of DRS range, which is gonna be crucial in this one. But look at McJammy though, he's closing up the gap. We might even see McJammy even challenge for a win here tonight. Wouldn't that be something for Williams here? From a team that about this time last season were struggling at the bottom of the barrel in the overalls to now potentially fighting for a win in Div 1.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to get the move done coming into the Casio triangle now. He's right behind him, and this is going to be very interesting. The question is, can he hold on to those tyres as well? As Riff gets a 3-second time penalty, that's unfortunate as well. So Jammy Dodge, look at that, Jonno trying to move over. Jonno's got enough in the tank to hold on. Jammy Dodge gets the fastest lap. He is flying on those mediums, but also you've got to take into account of JF7. He can get the move done on Pop Top. Anything is doable here. And, well, Rekas, I'm going to let you take away lap 26. Over to you.
All right, yeah, so here we go. McJammy now is going to go in and try with every fiber of his being. He wants that win. It'd be such a crucial win for him and Williams. It's such a motivation booster for the rest of the divisions, for divisions 2 through 4 or 2 through 5. Once he does get that fast lap, he is on a brand new soft tire, so that's... He's going to try to pick up the extra points for that one. But Broadstar's kind of caught back up to the back of McJammy. Has he burned up too much of that soft tire, or of that medium, is the question here. He is still staying really, really close now to the back of McJammy here. So he's still, and McJammy's staying to the back of Jonno. So this is going to be a really spicy final lap here to wrap things up in Suzuka. So Jonno is going to make his way to the Casio Triangle. And is McJeremy going to be close enough? We will see. And this is going to be the final lap, 27 out of 27. Over to you, SJ.
Here we go, coming down the main straight. He's got one last chance. Can he do it? He's getting closer and closer. He's going to go into turn one. Jonno saves it behind. Jamie goes round the outside. Does he get the move then? Oh no, he's pushed him off. That may be looked at. That may be looked at. Has he pushed him off? That will be a big talking point. Jamie Dodge is going to come under extreme pressure. He's got one more last chance. And you know where that is? That's in 130R through Spoon. Can he do it? He's on the medium. 16 laps against those 16 lap hards as well. Broadstar is in that P3. Can he hold on to P3? Pop Top Bongo is putting the pressure on. JF7 is putting the pressure on him as well. Flubber's putting the pressure on Dino. Everyone is putting the pressure on. But this is the battle to look at. It's Williams versus Ferrari. It's then Aston versus Mercedes. Then Mercedes versus Kick. Everyone is going to go for it. The slipstream is going to be insane coming into Spoon and 130R. As you can see, Jonno is literally 200 tenths in front. Jamie Dodge is going to have the best slipstream he's ever had. But can he do it? He has to have enough in the tank. It's 4 tenths. It's 3 tenths. It's not 2 tenths yet. It's 2 tenths now. Can he get the move done? Jamie Dodge is going to go for the move. He sends it into Casio. He's gone off track. He's gone deep. Broadstar's going to come back. He's going to have one last ditch to go for P2. Does he get it? No. Jamie holds on. Broadstar gets P3. Pop Top P4. JF7 and P5. Dino and P6. 7th in Flubber. Aiden's Raiden in 8th. Mozza in 9th. Does have that 15. That will drop him a little bit further down. Rift in P10, Georgia in P11, Kyo in 12th, Charles in 13th, Raf in 14th, and One Truth in 15th. What an end that was. A little bit of drama. That is what we'd love to see on the last lap, Rekus.
Absolute cinema from these guys here on the final lap of the race here. I mean, what a drive to McJeremy. If the game does not give him driver of the day, I think that's going to be a bit of a highway robbery here. Because McJeremy, he put on a spectacular race, getting those mediums further than they had any right to be. And once again, it is 3 for 3 for Jonno. He's got the hat trick. And he is firmly in the driver's seat here this season. Ferrari looking strong here to kick off season number 10 as this celebration on the podium is going live. The champagne is going to spray here in Suzuka. Or is it like champagne flavored sake? Not too sure about that one. But we're going to go and take a look at our superlatives. Race winner, Jonno. Fast lap, One Truth. Driver of the day is Jorgo, which is another pretty valid option. Flubber getting the cleanest driver award. And now we're going to take a look at our race results here tonight. Jonno takes the win here ahead of McJeremy, who put on a valiant effort ahead of Broadsta. Pop Top, JDI, Dito, Flubber, Aiden is Raiden, Mazza, Rift, Jorgo, Keatonic, Chandler's, Reiko Ralph, the One Truth. And then our retirees of the night, it is going to be Globdrip, Watanabe, Legham, Fat Cat, and Lucky rounding out the field here tonight. And without any further ado here, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get started with our podium post-race show interviews. We'll start it off with Broadsta here. Broadsta, you had a close fight through a good portion of the race and 3 safety cars to boot. How do you feel?
Yeah, sweaty, but yeah, it was pretty hard to get it done, but you know, we got it in the end, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough race there. So did you think that it was actually going to rain in the race, considering how wet quali was?
I didn't check the weather. I asked the boys, is it raining, and yeah, it wasn't. So yeah, I had decent wet pace in quali, but only got 1 run in, so yeah.
Yeah, it was a very good drive from you indeed, and especially in the kind of tricky conditions from qualifying to the race itself. I'm just going to ask you two more questions before I pass you over to SJ. We are headed to Australia for the first 100% race of the season. How do you feel?
Yeah, decent track. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully, I've got the pace, but yeah.
All right, last question before I pass you over. Is there anyone you'd like to give a special thanks or a shout out to here tonight?
Uh, Jonno and Meowsy for helping me out a little bit. So yeah, it was lovely.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on your podium, and I'll pass you over to SJ.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Vegas. Broadstar, what a night, mate. And it was looked pretty tough out there tonight. Obviously, you seemed like you had the pace on Fat Cat. Fat Cat was making a lot of mistakes, which was unusual to see. Obviously, it's not been the best of starts that you've probably wanted. Obviously, last week Bahrain, and obviously tonight losing Wonton. What was the plan going into this race, obviously, for Aston Martin, with obviously the spotlight on Aston Martin winning the overalls last season?
Just keeping on track. I made a big mistake in qualifying, which messed up my run. So it was yeah, it's pretty easy to make a mistake around here. So I just had to keep it on track and just give it all my best.
Well, I think you did. I think you did a fantastic job holding on to that P3. And did you just not have the right setup to catch Jonno or get close to Fat Cat in some areas of the track tonight?
Um, I don't know if Fat Cat was under pressure, but I know he made a lot of mistakes, and Jonno having higher wings, he was just escaping through the S's, so couldn't really do much about it.
Well, I think you've done a fantastic job once again, and it's really, really good to see you on the podium. Obviously, momentum going into Australia next week. Like, how do you feel about that? Because obviously, she's the big one, mate. 100% there. It's going to be a big night.
Yeah, I know something's gonna happen, but just hopefully it goes the way it did tonight. And yeah, I like Australia. It's a good track in my opinion. So we'll see what happens.
Well, top job, mate. I'm pretty happy for you getting on the podium. Well deserved. And look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Albert Park, the home Grand Prix. That's it. Back to you, Vegas.
All right, so now we're going to hop on board with P2 in tonight's race. We have Meowsy in the comms box. Meowsy, how are you doing tonight, mate? And he's muted. We'll see if we can get him available. There we go. All right.
I don't know why it's got me muted on Discord.
Oh, there you go.
I
Now we
think
hear
it
you.
was like that last time I joined or something.
All right,
Oh well,
so
yeah, how are you? I'm doing
I
well.
mean, pretty good. It was you had a really close run there right at the end, and it looked at even some points where you even had a chance of winning the Grand Prix. So overall, how do you feel your race went?
Quality was shocking. I was like easily had the pace to challenge Jonno because we had similar wings, similar pace throughout qualifying, and it's decided, why don't I just go visit like the barrier because that would be pretty fun. So yeah, I went flying off in turn one, which ruined any chance of me having a good race. So I had to do alternative strategy, and it was going pretty well until the first safety car. And then I realized, yeah, oh, I've got mediums for 17 laps compared to people around me on like hards that can easily go to the end. So I thought it was over. The safety cars did help me quite a bit, so that was very helpful. I had a chance of winning. I didn't really have any aspirations that, well, like I didn't really think I was going to get it, but I had a good chance at it because Jonno was running considerably high wings, and I mistakenly thought that Park Ferme was off for some reason. So I just like um, yeah, I have really high wings for no reason, probably 10 to 15 clicks higher than what I should be running. So, yeah, if I was running that lower wing setup, I could have had an easier chance of getting Jonno there, especially on both straights, but it's fine.
overall, I mean, you still made up a ton of places, and you honestly took those mediums any further than they really had any right to go. So, good job on that. Two more questions before I pass you over. It is the first 100% race of the season at Melbourne. How confident are you heading into Australia next week?
I don't know. I'm a reserve. It was just like I had a lot of free time, so I have other commitments on at similar times, so I don't know if I'll be around. But yeah, if I was around, it'll be interesting to see. It's going to be one mistake to be very costly. So yeah.
All right. Well, is there anyone you'd like to give a special thanks or shout out to you tonight before I pass you over?
The people who caused the safety car, because without them I would have punctured. So that kind of saved my race.
And yeah, you pushed those mediums pretty much straight to retirement home. So, well, once again, congratulations on your P2, and I pass you over to SJ. If you got any other questions or comments?
Yeah, Miyazi, good to see you on track, mate. And obviously reserving for a different car. Obviously, you jumped in for the first race of the season, reserved for Fat Cat. Obviously, different. Each race is very different, and like you said, you are a reserve. The question's probably on everyone's mind is how bad were those mediums? Because it looked like that One Truth went for the right strike because he was on about 7 lap mediums, but you were really pushing those mediums, and you even nearly got the fastest lap as well. So, what were the tyres like in those last 3 laps?
Fine. Well, I guess I knew that I had to like save unless I would puncture. So at each safety car interval when it was green flags, I was just really saving it. So um, and because it's under safety car conditions, it wasn't wearing. So it's like perfectly fine. I think on lap 23 is on 20% because of that. So it really wasn't an issue. I guess I could have gone for the fastest lap, but um, I guess Jonno and I were giving a helping hand to Bronster. So yeah, I guess we couldn't get fast lap, but it's fine.
Well, I think you've done a fantastic race, and definitely wanted to go for that move. We could see you were getting very, very close to Jonno in the 130R, and you decided to go for the move in Casso Triangle. It unfortunately didn't work out, but you did get P2. For you moving forward and to others for Division 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming up, what advice would you give the guys for a track like this? Because Sector 1 through the S's is probably the hardest part of the track, and then the rest of it is just momentum. So what advice would you give to other drivers in other divisions?
For the race, just like have smooth inputs. Like there's no need to really push so hard in the race, especially in a DRS train. It's gonna wear out your tires and like probably end up having a moment or two. So, and I mean, look at how Fat Cat ended up. So, I guess just take it smooth. You could go for higher wings if you really want to have grip around there, or lower wings and just really save through there. So that's probably my advice.
Awesome, great advice. And as Wickes did say, it's the Home Grand Prix next week. And if we do see you, are you a fan of Albert Park? Do you like Australia?
Yeah, I think everyone here likes Australia, or maybe I'm just a bit talking a bit on behalf of everyone. But yeah, I think it's a good track. It's a lot of DRS zones, so opportunities for overtake. So yeah, it'll be interesting, especially if it's a late safety car, and there's a lot of strategy variation.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure any team principal will be jumping to get you in to reserve for any one of them when it's possible. But congratulations on the P2 and also for Williams, and look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, bro. G-Rekus.
All right, we got one more interview left to go, and it is the man who has gone 3 for 3 with the hat trick, Jonno Otmir himself. How you doing tonight, Jonno?
Yes, sir. Yeah, pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like every time there was a safety car restart, you just said, all right, sayonara, and you just disappeared off into the distance right up there until the end. Overall, just talk to us how you felt your race went, because you got pretty much got a grand slam just about.
Yeah, well, I was testing kind of like a new setup-ish, just running higher wing. because usually you want to run like 15-3, 15-4, or 16-4, whatever here. So I was running a higher wing just to see how that went, because the higher wing you run, the less tire wear you get, especially around a high deck track like this. So I tested it out, and apparently it worked, because even though I was getting caught by the straights, I gained too much time in sector 1 and 2 for anyone to do anything. For example, Fat Cat, he was really trying to catch me, but hopefully on stream, I think you saw him, like, having half spins, having moments like that. So uh, I feel overall the race went pretty well. Controlled it from the start, I think. Fat Cat nearly got me, but I managed to hold him off and then kind of just pulled away. So, no, the race overall pretty good. Probably one of my better ones, yeah.
Yeah, it was a very strong race for you. Strong start to your season as well. I mean, you've won. I think you've pretty much won everything aside from the Bahrain sprint. I think is the only thing you haven't won so far this season. So it's already
Yeah.
a really, really good start for you now. Do you think you can make a 4 for 4 in Australia next week?
Australia, I think so. I'm pretty good at that track. I wouldn't say I'm better than Fat Cat or anyone in quali. So I think I'm gonna have to do a little bit of practice for Australia, maybe a bit more than 10 minutes this time. So so I'll give that a go and see what I can do, because I love the Australian track. So, and I think overtaking you can actually do it, because there's what, 4 DRS zones, I think. So we can at least try something.
All right, yeah. So I mean, we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. It is the first 100% race of the season, so it's going to be a bit of a doozy. All right, last question
Yeah,
before
you just. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna. You can go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, since it's 100%, there's no point in doing stupid moves. So that goes for everyone.
I can definitely tell that was definitely at least a smidge personal. All jokes aside, last question before I pass you over: is there anyone you'd like to give a special thanks or a shout out to here tonight?
I'd just like to thank my TP. He's been doing really well managing the team and all that. We've been in a really good place, so I appreciate that, and as well as Meowsy and Broadstar, because we were just in a voice call, so it made the race more fun. Rather than just being alone in the VC. So no, overall it's pretty good.
All right. Well, once again, congratulations on the win, Jonno, and I'll pass you over to SJ.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vegas. Jonno, well, what do I say? 3 for 3, mate. It's been a fantastic start, as Vegas did say. You're qualifying as well as improving. I've been going back and looking at some stats from you last season, and you're really doing so much better on your qualifying. Do you think that is the pinnacle of getting everything complete in your game?
Yeah, definitely. Because race pace I'm fine with, like, and saving tires. Like, I'm probably one of the better drivers to save tires whilst keeping up with the pack. So qualifying was definitely a must to practice, which I have. And it's definitely worked out better, because instead of starting like P5 or P6, I'm usually, top 3 this time. So it's definitely helped a lot in terms of results. So I'm just proud of that. So yeah, it's really helped.
Yeah, definitely, because it's mate. You can definitely tell, starting from first, second, and third. You've got a massive opportunity of staying in the same position, or maybe even gaining a spot. And obviously, you being in P1 for the race, obviously starting off as well, gives you a good momentum going into turn 1, which we knew was going to be quite interesting to see, because turn 1, everything happens in this track in turn 1. We know that, especially with the DRS. Coming closer to the end, did you think that Jamie was going to get you in any way? Because he was getting closer.
Yeah.
He was on older tyres, and slipstream is pretty insane in 130R if you don't have the right setup. Bit of nerves?
There was, because he had lower wings than me. So I was just hoping my first sector was good, especially on the last lap. It kind of wasn't. So I knew I was on the back foot, especially. So it was a bit scary in some moments. I think we accidentally wheel hooked in turn 2, which was just the part after the hairpin, the little part. So, yeah, that was a bit scary, but we managed to get off each other because the stupid physics. As soon as you get on a tire, you can't really do anything. So, and then we just chose to fight again because he was the last lap. So I was like, let's just battle. So see what he could do. He nearly got me into the last turn. I'll say that, but he went a bit deep, so I was happy. But no, I was definitely scared of something because his tires were pretty good, considering there were 3 safety cars. So his tires were basically in a really good condition.
Did you force him off on the last lap into turn 1?
Into turn 1, that's when we wheel hooked. So I went a little bit deep, and then I turned out of it, and then Miyazaki at the same time had a little minor correction into me. So then we started to wheel hook through that turn 1 area. So we just tried to get off each other.
We've seen some big tickets coming in this week.
No.
You've seen some big ticket. Well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. It depends, obviously, what dealer wants to do or Lamb. But we have seen some big tickets come in, especially for Div3, and they've been very, very strict. But it would obviously be, it would be really hurtful to obviously lose that position, and I'm sure. It looked like that you gave him space, but you're in the zone, and sometimes you just don't know. You know that he's on your left, and you're trying to give space, but you were going side by side into turn 1 as well, which is quite scary. Rest of the momentum for Ferrari going into this. This race this week, obviously a bit of a mixture going on the overalls. The overalls is still a little bit unknown. Tell your TP to hurry up with the appeal. Going into this track, how does the team feel? Do they feel that they're in a good place at the moment across all divisions?
Yeah, I mean, we're all feeling pretty decent. We're all getting our practice in, so I'll try help out the guys where I can, and we'll try to nail it. We'll try to win that overalls for Ferrari finally. So that'll be nice to do as well. I'm pretty sure we did it last season, though. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, you were runner-up. We came runner-up, but things have changed, and as you can see, things change very, very quickly in results. Mercedes have had a fantastic start, but not in other divisions. Kick have done very well across the board, and also now Ferrari, and also other teams as well, like Aston Martin tonight, and also Williams as well. So, you can do fantastic, as we've said before. You can have 2 fantastic drivers in Division 1, but if you're not scoring points in any other divisions, it means nothing.
Yeah, no, exactly. So you have to make sure that all the guys in the other divisions, make sure they're okay, make sure, help them out wherever possible, so, you can win the Constructors.
If not, Jonno will hit you with a stick.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get my whack and stick out.
Jonno, mate, congratulations once again. 3 for 3, mate. Fantastic night, and go ahead and celebrate, mate, and all the best for your team for the rest of the week.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, guys. See you later.
Cheers.
All right then.
What a night! What a night! That was interesting. Spicing it up a little bit with the 3 safety cars, a few incidents, and then the last ditch hurrah as well, which has been a fantastic night of racing. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next with the rest of the divisions.
Yeah, this is honestly better than I was expecting it to be, because Suzuka can really go one of 2 ways usually. It could be either super chaotic, or it could just kind of be a procession. And luckily this time it was a really good race, really spicy, had some really good moments, especially right there at the end. But yeah, it's going to be a fun rest of the week throughout the rest of the divisions. Div 2 up next tomorrow. And then next week, we got the first 100% race weekend at Australia, the Rush home track for round number 4. So yeah, awesome things to come.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a really interesting week for the rest of the teams to capitalise. Obviously, it's been a fantastic night for Ferrari, Aston, and Williams, and also congrats to the driver of the day of Mini Giorgio as well. Well done on that, and obviously the cleanest drive I think it went to a kick. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that.
It went to flub.
Big shout out. Okay, well there you go, Mercedes. So completely wrong team. Big shout out to everyone that followed in tonight. Skype _ Noah's Gaming, Alpha Gully, Ahmed21CRL, Valroff, and an unknown user, whoever that is. Thank you very much for the follows. Big up to all of our sponsors as well. AI369, Pagnium, SRC Affiliate this season, and SimLab. And as always, to my favourite American friend, fantastic night for you, Rekus. And the NA is back as well at China for round 2.
Yeah, that should be a fun one to just kind of see how it plays out. It'll be GameHawk, I think, once again on the comms. So be sure to check out on our NAEU Twitch. Should be a fantastic race. I do some fun races over there in the NAEU. But yeah, without any further ado, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Be sure to check back in tomorrow when we do the same thing again for Div2. And on behalf of SJ and the rest of Rush, my name has been Patrick Coleman, aka Rekus, and we have been your hosts and commentators for tonight's Grand Prix. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.